Hello scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back with my fifth and final layout for my round 3 kit of my For the Love of Homemade kit series. And if you haven't been watching this series, I've been doing it with Hannah Lemieux, Felicia Young, and Christina Sorge, I think is how you say her name. Okay, so here I had a few different branding strips from my kit that I just cut up, and I'm going to use there at the bottom. I had a scrap lift for this one. I wanted to use up all of these frames that we included in our kits that I hadn't used at all really, and this layout just was very pretty, and I love the result of this layout. Well, the layout that I wanted to scrap lift was very pretty. Sorry, that was not me being vain about my own layout. Okay, so I had this photo of my brother and and he was going on his mission. This was back in, I think, 2009. It might have been 2008. I think it was 2008. So this is me and him, and yes, he is my little brother. I am about 6 or 7 years older than him. I'm quite a few years older than him, and he is so much taller than me. He's like 2 feet taller than me. Okay, so here I kind of have the frames placed on the layout how I want them, and then I am just kind of matting the photo, just putting a little piece of paper behind it. I wanted to make sure to use this yellow washi tape, so I put some up there at the top. I also have these gold hearts and this flower that I want to use. I wanted also to use this wood veneer that said dream on it, and I had that arrow as well as some of this washi tape, which does not like to stick. I would like to remind you that. I had this gold sticker. I'm not sure what this is from, but it says, oh goodness, now I'm not even going to be able to remember what it says. But there were a couple different phrases, and I thought maybe I could make my own phrase out of, a few different phrases, and I didn't really like the way it looked. So I'm going to scrap that idea. And let's see, not sure what I ran off to do, but as you can see, I have 4 frames down there, and I am going to stick to using all 4 of those frames, and they pretty much stay in that area where they're at. Okay, so I am going to use this word capture, and I was thinking maybe that could be part of my title, but it does not end up being my title. It's just going to be one of the embellishment cluster areas. So here I'm gluing down the bottom strips of papers. I am going to use my, I think it's Heidi Swap Color Shine, or not Color Shine, my Heidi Swap ink pads, and I'm going to ink the edges of everything. So here I'm just building this little cluster area down here. I have a few different embellishment pieces. There's that button, the ampersand, and then this little see-through tag. Okay, now I'm going to cut this blue paper and make it into a little banner. I'm going to add this little frame to that area. I'm going to kind of move it around a little bit, I think, because it just wasn't looking right. Like, I wanted the frame to be there because I wanted to use it up, but it didn't look right having it be sideways like that. So I'm going to kind of fidget with it. So I put down the flower, and then I just look at it and nope, I don't like it. And so I turn it to the side, and I actually do like that a lot better. So here I'm going to add a few of these pieces to that little area. And this, let's see. Oh, and then this is where I'm going to try to add this little pink ephemera piece that says, check this out. I think I was going to try to have that be part of the title, so that the title would be capture, and then I would block out the word check and out. So it would be capture this, or capture today's event, because the side does say today's event. So I forgot about that. So here I'm trying to cover up that saying, and it's not working. And so eventually I'm just going to throw it over to the side and decide not to use it in that way. Here I pull out a couple more embellishment pieces from my ephemera pack. This is where I think, oh, maybe I'll use this cute little label tag. That didn't work. So I'm going to give up in a minute. Maybe, I think. So this is where I add this cute little floral arrangement. And I like that, but at the same time, I didn't. So I'm getting out my, not my stamp, my, oh goodness, I can't even think about what that's called. I think that's Tim Holtz. I think that's what it was. I was thinking I used teal from Maggie Holmes, but it's Tim Holtz Cracked Pistachio. Oh my goodness, I cannot talk. And so I'm just going to ink up the edges of all of the frames and the pattern papers, and that's going to help everything stand out a little bit better. So I'm going to glue down everything in that bottom cluster down there. And here's where I'm trying to add the ink to that paper that I already glued down. It's not working out too well, but it's okay. So now I'm going to glue that down, and then I'm going to use my, I believe I used my liquid adhesive to glue down the strip of washi tape right underneath that paper. So there's going to be a lot of gluing going on here. I don't know what I'm doing at this moment. Probably dealing with children or talking to someone on the phone. I don't know if you tend to get interrupted like that so many times during scrapbooking. I do all the time. Sometimes it's pleasant, like when you're talking to a scrappy friend. Yeah, but sometimes it's not so pleasant. Not that I don't love my kids. Okay, so now I'm gluing everything down there in that bottom cluster like I've said I was going to do about 10 times, right? I made this layout probably about a month ago. I like to get my layouts done in advance if I can. So it has been fun working on these kits because we usually pick out the kit the month before, and then that way I'm able to spend time just making a bunch of layouts, and then I'm all ready to post them when it's time to post. So yeah, fun times. Okay, so now I have the frames all switched around the way that I want them to go. At this time, I'm thinking I'm going to have that little floral cluster right there up in the right-hand corner of the photo. I am actually going to move it. Here you can see I'm trying to move it. So I think maybe it can go up there in that top cluster, and then I decide no, it's not going to go up there. Here I'm fixing the banner, and I'm going to start gluing all of these pieces down. Okay, so now I'm going to finish gluing down these embellishments in this top right hand cluster. Okay, so here I'm still kind of fiddling with that word capture and the floral embellishment. I'm going to glue down all of these frames. I think I'm going to just fast forward through this part so that we don't waste more time. Okay, now I'm going to work on this cluster that's up there in the top left-hand corner of the photo. And it's that darn capture little embellishment piece. I am going to keep it right there, which is exciting. I finally found a spot for it. So I'm just going to glue all of these pieces down. And let's see, what else am I going to do? I'm going to try to add in this speech bubble, but nope, it's not going to work. I pull out some sequins and I'm going to use these. These sequins I got from a Click Kit. So I'm going to use a few teal blue ones and then some yellow ones. And I am just making them a part of the cluster, not really any rhyme or reason, just kind of putting them down. So for this part, I wanted to kind of add something more to that far left frame. So I'm adding the sequins, and I'm going to glue down all of the sequins in all 3 of the clusters. Well, there's actually, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 5 clusters on this layout, but it works because it's still an odd number, right? And that's what you want, is an odd number. So I'm just gluing down all of those sequins, and then I'm going to pull out the alpha that I decided to use. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the teal color, and I'm going to put it in that far left hand frame, and it's just going to be in between the sequins, and it's going to say Lil Bro, so like L-I-L and then bro. Apparently that's not what I'm doing at this moment. I'm going to work on that top left hand little cluster above the photo. I'm going to pull out some of these layered flowers, and I'm going to use those along with that Check This Out little ephemera piece. And I'm going to stamp the date on there, which was August 20th. So I'm just going to stamp it with my, I think that's a Project Life rotary date stamp, and just using my Stays On ink. Okay, so here is where I'm going to do my title. And it's going to be, at first I'm thinking it's going to be "and he's off." But I don't really end up liking that for some reason. I don't remember why. So I'm going to leave it like that and finish up the little bro part. Here I'm thinking, well, maybe I could put the title up there at the top in that cluster, but I don't really like the way that looks. I'm going to adhere the Lil Bro title to the page. And then I'm going to finish up with the main title. I don't know if you guys like to do subtitles and main titles and all of those things. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. It just kind of depends on the page, and I think the subject and everything as well. Okay, so here I'm just fidgeting with the title up there in the corner, and I'm just not liking it. But I don't really like doing the title with the stair look there. So I'm going to change it. I'm going to put away the word and then, let's see, I think the word off. Yeah. So basically I'm just going to keep the word he. And my title is going to be Here He Goes. So here now you can see that I have chosen my title. And it is, like I said, it's going to be Here He Goes. And I think I am going to do some journaling. I haven't decided what I'm going to say, but eventually I think I am going to do it right under the frame on the far left, underneath the one that says Lil Bro. So here I'm just making these E's or F's into E's because I didn't have enough E's, and it works out perfectly. I don't think you can really even tell that they are F's. So that is pretty much the end of this layout. I hope that you have stuck with me this long. I know it was super crazy long. I think this layout took me about 2 hours. And mainly it's because I was doing a scrapping chat session with some friends, and so I get easily distracted while doing that. But this is the end of the layout. Thanks so much for watching. And again, make sure that you go on over to see Christina, Felicia, and Hannah's channels. And we only challenged ourselves to do 4 layouts, and I decided to do 5, so this is my 5th layout. So the other ladies probably won't have a layout today, but they did have a layout on Tuesday this week. So I hope that you have a great scrappy weekend, and we will be back on Sunday with our new kit share for our kit for next month. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.